coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News on Mid-Missouri CW starts now.
A Southern Boone County High School football coach is charged with enticing a minor. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jem Reed.
I'm Emily Spain. Thanks for joining us. KOMU 8's Alex Arger spent the afternoon talking to parents, teachers, and more to try to get more information.
That's right, Emily. This is the criminal complaint from a Callaway County grand jury that indicted the Southern Boone coach. Between May 1st and August 31st, the court documents allege Tennille Stevenson sent sexually suggestive messages and photos to a student who was less than 15 years old. On the 31st, Fulton Police Department took a report of Stevenson for enticement of a minor. On September 27th, the Callaway County grand jury indicted him and set bond for $50,000, which Stevenson posted. On October 12th, he turned himself in. Stevenson pleaded not guilty in his first court appearance on Monday. I talked to some Southern Boone parents today. A few of them told me they didn't feel comfortable appearing on camera because the situation makes them feel uncomfortable. Stevenson is back in court next month. In the studio, Alex Arger, KOMU 8 News.
Also in Fulton, the nurse hired to look after Carl DeBrody, the man found encased in concrete a year and a half ago, voluntarily surrendered her nursing license. Melissa DeLapp pleaded guilty to health care fraud charges in August. According to a settlement with the Missouri State Board of Nursing, she had to surrender her license. She was hired to look after DeBrody and 3 other patients at a supported living home. DeLapp documented making monthly health checks, but did not actually provide any health services. She also signed the health checks after DeBrody died. She could face up to 10 years in federal prison.
Senate candidate Josh Hawley's campaign is accused of violating federal election laws. The Campaign Legal Center filed today with the Federal Election Commission, accusing Hawley's campaign of illegally collaborating with the National Rifle Association. According to the complaint, the NRA made, quote, illegal, unreported, and excessive contributions to buy TV ads. Hawley's campaign released a statement saying, in part, quote, the entity filing this frivolous complaint is Giffords, a national gun control group that opposes the Second Amendment and opposed to Justice Kavanaugh. For the full statement, go to KOMU.com. In response, Claire McCaskill's press secretary, released this statement. Says, quote, this appears to confirm what we've known from the beginning. Josh Hawley is in this race for his dark money donors and will do anything to win so he can be their senator, not Missouri's.
2 weeks before the election, a Cole County judge ruled for a change in Missouri's voter ID law today. The state law will now apply to counties as well. Voters who do not show a photo ID will not have to sign an affidavit. Boone County Clerk Taylor Burke says his office applied the law's requirements after the original ruling earlier this month. He says he strongly opposes changing the law so close to the election. His Democratic opponent, Brianna Lennon, says this is a good time.
For those of us who have to run elections, or voters who maybe only part-time pay attention to what the voting rules or voting laws are, when you change the rules this close to election day, that's when we have concerns about people understanding what they need or what they should be doing at the polling place.
I think today is a good time for that to happen so that it can be integrated in. We need to make sure that it's being integrated into poll worker training. That's going to be where voters are interacting the most on election day.
Burke says confusion occurs when Jefferson City and Washington, D.C. interfere with elections. Lennon says the law provides clarity for voters.
MU researchers are the first in the world to discover a genetic modification that produces a pig resistant to a deadly virus. But will consumers have a problem with genetically engineered meats? KOMU 8's Monica Harkins talked to both sides of this new research and joins us now in the studio.
The lead researcher on this new discovery says this is a matter of animal welfare. But will farmers accept this change? One fourth-generation farmer says definitely not.
First, GMO crops took over America. Next up, GMO meats.
The changes doesn't necessarily have to be with the genetics of the animal.
Fourth-generation cattle farmer and former pig farmer Jeff Jones believes in traditional farming.
To me, the changes first has to start with the people that's taking care of them.
But the lead researcher for this new discovery, Randall Prather, at the University of Missouri, says the change in the genes are small.
So what we've done is edit the genome. The pig genome has like 3 billion letters in it. And for this last edit that we did, we made some pigs that had 2 letters changed. Just 2 letters changed. And that resulted in these pigs not getting sick.
Jones is hesitant.
Research has to be proven effective and safe, and it takes time to do that.
Prather says consumers and farmers shouldn't be worried.
We know exactly what letters we changed. And so the question is, how can this be bad? We really need to be incorporating this if we're going to be serious about food security, if we're going to be serious about animal welfare, if we're going to be serious about sustainability.
Jones says it will be a while before he accepts this practice.
This research and genetic engineering of animals as a whole is something that regulatory agencies are working to keep up to date as we speak. A USDA spokesperson told me a national bioengineered food disclosure standard is in the final steps of completion. I'm Monica Harkins, KOMU 8 News.
Do you have a counterfeit bill in your pocket right now? If you live in Fulton, you might. Fake $100 bills have shown up at Sutherland's, C&R Market, Casey's General Store, and the Fulton Cinema. The manager at Sutherland says the bank spotted the counterfeit. He's alerted his employees to be more mindful of fake bills.
From the experience, is just you got to be on the lookout. You got to be vigilant. You have to pay attention. There's crooks out there, and they're looking for the easiest way to make a buck.
You can tell if it's a fake bill because it feels weird, looks too big or too small, and the colors are wrong. Fulton police have made no arrests in the case.
Lawyers from the Sierra Club in Ameren, Missouri wrapped up their hearing today. The case accuses Ameren of using outdated technology that harms the Missouri River by releasing thermal pollution and ash into the river. KOMU 8's Ian Nickens breaks down both sides.
Ameren has a permit from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, but the Sierra Club and Earth Justice claim that permit wasn't properly gained. The Sierra Club says the DNR skipped over a test to determine if the Labadee plant was equipped with the best technology for keeping the environment safe. Now, they're in administrative court.
The Labadee coal plant is putting so much thermal pollution into the Missouri River, and it would be, if you built a coal plant today, it would be illegal to build a plant like that.
The Ameren plant uses a cooling system that takes in water from the Missouri River to cool its power generating systems. When the cooling is finished, the plant dumps the heated water back into the river. The Sierra Club claims that water sometimes has ash in it. The highlighted portion of this map of the plant shows where the plant connects with the river. An alternate method called closed system cooling would take in water, use it, then cool it so it can be reused. This is the sort of tech Sierra Club insists Ameren should be using. It says wildlife and drinking water is at stake.
The Missouri River is not Ameren's sewer to put in their coal ash waste and their hot water and whatever else they want. This is everybody's river, and DNR and Ameren should follow the Clean Water Act and comply. That's what we want to see.
I reached Ameren by phone late this afternoon. Labadee's plant manager says the cost to replace its cooling system would be too high, and he says the company's research says the plant has no impact on the environment.
That was KOMU 8's Ian Nickens reporting. If Sierra Club wins this case, Ameren will have to go through the permit process again, this time with the best available technology test.
Moberly is looking to increase the number of visitors downtown. The Chamber of Commerce says there are 35 vacant buildings downtown. The city hired a consulting group to survey what needs to happen to revitalize the area. Surveys found residents want more restaurants and nightlife. A new restaurant owner sees a shift in business.
We found, people moving out of downtown and going out towards Walmart and out towards the highway. And now I think we're coming full circle and people are reinvesting in downtown Moberly.
The Chamber says surveys were phase one of the revitalization plan. The next step is to identify the kind of businesses that would be a good fit.
A mid-Missouri school is mourning the loss of a loyal bus driver.
On the man's deathbed, he said, "I'm nothing but a bus driver."
But he left a legacy much greater than he could ever imagine. That's coming up.
Seasonal conditions were abundant today for our late October day. That'll go into tomorrow as well, but rain will make its way back in the forecast. I'll tell you how much and when to expect it coming up next.